I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Have a roll call.
Board Member Fullerton. Absent. Board Member Sterling.
Here.
Board Member Anderson.
Present.
And Chair Nearing.
Present. Oh, I'm sorry. Curb cuts, man, front and center. Oh, there we go.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I have a quick update on our curb ramp program. First, we just completed 475 curb ramps in accordance with ADA standards as part of our 2014 overlay and resurfacing program, just completed early this year. These curb ramps were located within 38 miles of road that we either overlay or microsurface or cape seal. Those specific treatments triggered to bring these curb ramps into compliance. Second, we are in process of rebidding Los Feliz sidewalk project, and we should start the construction in the summer. As part of that project, we will be installing 10 curb ramps, in accordance with ADA standards. There'll be new sidewalks, and we have to reconstruct some of the sidewalks again to bring them into ADA compliance. Third project is Westlake Boulevard Sidewalk project that we just began the design of the project in January. And that project limit is from the US 101 to Triumphal Canyon Road. And we will be installing 22 curb ramps as part of that project. We will be improving many crosswalks, and we will be installing new sidewalks. And finally, we're also in the process of applying for Active Transportation Program grant, ATP Cycle 2. We will apply for a number of locations to install sidewalk and curb ramps. And if we are granted those the funding, we should be starting the construction in a couple of years for those locations. And that just summarizes my update. I'll be happy to take any questions if you have any.
Any questions by the board members? Thank you for your presentation. You fixed the ones around our house, so good work.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have a proposed residential care facility for the elderly, and who would like to make the first presentation?
I will. Bill Mabry.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Mabry. I'm with Oakmont Senior Living. Our company started building assisted living communities in 1994 and have built over 40 communities throughout California over that time frame. We've been very dedicated to our communities that we've been involved with. Our company is a little different than most. We started actually as a construction company and moved into the care and senior care business when we were building communities for the seniors over 55 and older, and finding out in a very short period of time that there really wasn't a lot of quality care that our people within our communities needed as a later date, and found that they needed to move out of our communities, and we moved into the assisted living and memory care business at that time. We are the builders, the owners, and the operators, and we're really looking forward to bringing one of our facilities here to Thousand Oaks. We've looked in the area here for off and on for a number of years, and really hadn't found what we felt was a really appropriate and lovely location until we came across the property at 400 Rolling Oaks Drive. At this time, we've put in our application and been working closely with Pam Leopold, our planner, over the last few months, and we're looking forward to moving to a meeting with Planning Commission early in the summer, and we're looking forward to getting your input and answer any questions you might have about the facility.
Thank you. Anybody with any questions now?
Yeah, I have a question.
I know, I've got questions too. Do we want to wait for the other two to present their views, or?
Well, what was originally requested when we met and spoke with Mr. Powers was to send down plans for your review. And I know that you had gotten those, I guess, over the last a couple of weeks to take a look at that. And so we were here and prepared to answer any questions you might have. Greg Wonke is our designer on the project and has worked very closely with these requirements over the years. And not only as part of Hardy Engineering, which is our local engineering firm that's doing all of our civil work.
My first question is, I didn't see the handicapped parking spaces.
Well, let's bring up the plan and. Point. Should we bring it up? I think so. Should we just come up and point them out to you, or how would you best like to handle that?
Right here on the, oh, you don't,
Yeah, you don't have it on the screen. Okay, just
point them out to us. Right here, just to the west of the porte-cochere. There's a little hatched area crossing the...
Here you go, Greg.
Oh, okay.
And I have a
Yeah,
laser
I
pointer
see
also.
those. Yeah. One of the concerns we have had in the past on handicapped parking is you're placing them next to a curb. When my wife drives and she parks in a handicapped parking area and there's a curb on the right, I can't get out of the car. So please pay some attention to curbs and handicap parking. If you can move them away from a curb or make a facility where you can back in. These ladies and gentlemen with their electric wheelchairs also have difficulties with curbs. So if you can have a slant way instead of a curb, it would really help the people that are sitting up here.
That mic's open.
Yeah, generally when we design our parking next to a curb, we would bring the curb down flush with the pavement. We would we'd always have a flush condition.
Okay, good. There's several places in town that hasn't happened, and I tell my wife, back in. Thank you. The other concern I have is always University Village. You've heard of University Village.
Yes.
I know people that live there. I've been in their homes there. I always go into the toilets. I always laugh when I get into the toilets because everybody that is an architect that builds for this kind of facility puts their toilet paper dispensers 18 inches off the floor, which nobody can reach, of course. The spec calls for 18 to 48 inches. Would somebody please come up and get this sheet of paper? I have everything underlined there. Don't put them at 18 inches off the floor, which nobody can reach. The people at University Village are livid with the architects that and the builders that put their toilet paper dispensers in. That's just a standard thing. I printed it out today. You know, there's 276 pages of stuff. Fortunately, I found this for you. And they've all had their toilet paper dispensers remounted above the handrails. And so the other thing I'm concerned about is what kind of floors you're putting in the bathroom areas. Now, let me add that the YMCA just resurfaced all their floors and they put the non-slip type of linoleum in there. However, in their shower areas, they have 3/4-inch tiles. 3/4-inch tiles give you a great purchase for your foot pads for sucking up into an area where you will not slip. When I go from the 3/4-inch tile area into the non-slip linoleum area, I slip. So I entreat you and I implore you, put in the 3/4-inch tiles instead of the non-slip linoleum. One slip and fall accident will easily pay for the added money that sort of thing will help. And don't go any bigger. If you go 2-inch tiles, way too big for your foot and your heel pad. So that's my primary concern. I believe the other people have some concerns about the shower areas.
Yeah, we do use the smaller tiles in our common area bathrooms. And then in the residential units, we usually use an improved non-slip linoleum that has real good grit to it.
That's what the Y put in, and they've already had concerns. They've already had slip and falls, and they put mats in, and of course they molded. So they had to pull those out by request of the county, and now they've got notices up, please dry off before you walk into the non-slip area because it's slippery. The non-slip linoleum doesn't work.
All right, we'll take a look at that.
Thank you. Any other board comments?
Yeah, I have a comment about the plan. In the bathrooms, the doors are opening inward into the bathroom area, and that can be a hazard for a person who's falls behind the door. There's no way to access them, and so that's a big concern of mine. I think that it's important that you're able to open the door if anybody needs assistance in there. So I'd like to see those changed to a door that swings out if possible at all.
Yeah, we can take a look at that as long as we have the proper strike side clearance.
Then also there was something on the height of the toilet. I didn't really get what the actual toilet height is going to end up being here. I know that the ADA has a I think it's a 15-inch minimum, and I would prefer to see it taller than that.
Yeah, all the equipment that we put in our buildings are all have the ADA stamp on them.
Right.
Both in the common area and in the residential units.
Yeah, that's a good height. And then, yeah, as far as where I concur with the toilet paper dispenser. It's in a bad spot there. I think that needs to be addressed as well.
I think in the residential units we have it at almost 2 feet, and the common areas it is a little lower.
48 inches. That's a nice spec. That's why I printed it out for you, and it takes a while to find this. Oh, ada.government, and you can find everything on there.
I was just thinking out loud, I guess. 48 seems awfully high for me. You're a very tall guy.
It's right here.
I know, that seems really... I wouldn't want to reach up. It's up here?
Yeah, it's right here.
I think it's an individual thing.
Okay.
I would see, like, maybe, like, somewhere in the middle of your 24 here and the 48 might be good. I mean, higher is always better, but not, like, where I'm doing a pull-up to get it.
Yeah, somebody might use it as a handle.
Also, in the bathrooms, we'd be helpful for people in wheelchairs who have trouble transferring if we can get some grab bars and shower mats so that they don't slip.
Yeah, all of our bathrooms in the residential area are equipped with. They're all adaptable, but we actually now for licensing we put the grab bars in around the toilet and in the shower in all of our units now.
I didn't notice if you had a transition bar. I think what he's talking about is when you're moving from the shower
Oh yeah,
into
Yes,
the area,
when you
or a
move-
transition bar on the outside. I've got them in my house, I know. I put them in myself.
pretty sure we got one in there. Yeah, I think we do. It's an extra 24-inch grab bar right next to. That was too big. If you look at, do you have A4? On A4.0, number 3. Approach. Oh, you did this package. So there's this extra, we have this extra grab bar that is right when you come out.
Okay, that's great.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's great.
Now, one of the other problems we had with one of the other builders is he had prefabricated showers. And when people in wheelchairs sit on the chair, they could not reach the faucets to turn the to turn the water on.
Yeah, you know, that's always a problem with the way that the code reads. You have to put the mixing valve in the back adjacent to the seat, and then the shower heads, you know, you either can't reach the shower head or, you know, on the slide bar, or you can't reach the mixing valve. But the way the code reads now, the mixing valve is supposed to be directly adjacent to the seat, which I believe we have shown on, there it is. It's on number 4, same page. So it's right, it's just out in front of the tip of the seat at 40 inches off the ground.
So I know sometimes, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, like when I stay in hotels, the seat is like this, but then the shower operations are to my right side in this example, you know, right here on the side, and it has the handheld shower head. Are you saying that's not an option with the regulations? Because I wouldn't be able to use this shower independently, because I wouldn't be able to reach far enough to turn the water on.
You're saying that it's too far in front of you when it's across?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can either put it across or next to you.
Both the on and off and the shower head?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we found that if you have it on the back wall and you have a caregiver come in and they turn the shower on, the water just goes shooting right out the door onto the floor. So we found it's kind of better to put it across. and if they can't reach it, they get assistant. We have we're assisted living, so somebody
Right.
would come in and help them. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. If the shower is the 30 by 60, yeah, it's 4 feet away. Yeah, you'd never be able to reach it. So yeah, we always put it next to it.
I guess it just depends on their level of independence.
Yeah. And then the slide, well, and the showers that we primarily use are the 44 inches wide. 44. So if you have a 24-inch seat, you're only 2 feet from your from the slide bar. So it's not. Our secondary baths, sometimes we put in the 30 by 60. But primarily we use the California shower, which I believe is 44 by 48 or 50 or whatever it is.
Okay.
Any other comments by the board members? Well, then we thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope you listen to us.
We do.
Before we adjourn, I'd like to, we had a board resignation, and Sylvia Sullivan had to resign. She was a very gifted architect for handicap installations, and if we could send out a letter or a memo of thank you for her service on the board, it would be much appreciated by the board. Thank you.
I would just like to make a request. I'm on a lot of disability-centered boards, and a lot of them come up with like a plan or ways of respectful language to be used and things like that. And I've noticed that a lot of times in these meetings, current respectful disability language isn't necessarily being used, and I think that representing the city, they would like us to make an effort to do that. So I would like to make an offer as a director of the local independent living center, which handles disability advocacy, that I would like to provide resources with the appropriate language to both the board, but also would like to find out whether or not we as a board can then provide that to our speakers to make sure that they are also making that effort. So I'd like to open that up as a future agenda item or whatever we need to do.
I think that's a fabulous idea. Can we do that?
I think that's ask our legal person. Is that okay to include that in the agenda?
Yeah, we could put that on the agenda.
Thank you. Fantastic. Any more comments? Anybody from there, any further comments? Thank you very much. A nice, clear-cut presentation. Very, very nicely.